You thought Friends was just a funny sitcom about six friends living in New York? Think again. Behind the laughter and coffee at Central Perk lie some of the weirdest, darkest fan theories you've ever heard. What if Phoebe imagined the whole thing? What if Ross is actually the villain? Stick around because things are about to get seriously strange. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more mind-blowing theories.
We'd like this delivered, please.
Why don't you fill out this address card?
Oh, okay.
I noticed you've picked out a lot of our dinosaur items.
Oh, yeah. Actually, that's one of the reasons why we are not a couple.
One of the wildest fan theories about Friends is called Phoebe's fantasy. According to this theory, the entire show happens inside Phoebe's imagination. Here's the idea. Phoebe is actually a homeless woman, living on the streets of New York. She never truly becomes part of the group. Instead, she watches them from a distance, maybe from outside Central Perk, and imagines what their lives must be like. In her mind, she creates these fun, complicated friendships and gives herself a role in their story, as the quirky, weird friend who somehow fits in. That's why Phoebe is so different from the rest of them. She plays guitar, lives alone, says random things, and seems a little disconnected from reality, because none of it is real. It's all part of her fantasy, a way to escape her harsh life. This theory totally flips the show on its head. It turns a happy sitcom into a tragic story about loneliness and imagination.
Pretty name for an industrial solvent.
Okay, fine. What do you have?
All right, well, it's for a boy. I know it's a little out there, but... Darwin.
Oh, my God. Our child will be beaten to death in the schoolyard.
Yeah, by Sandrine.
Another popular fan theory about Friends is that Chandler Bing is secretly gay, and he doesn't even know it. Now, this theory isn't just based on stereotypes or jokes. Fans who believe it point to several moments in the show where Chandler behaves or reacts in ways that seem to suggest he's not fully aware of his own sexuality. Let's start with the obvious. Throughout the series, Chandler is constantly the subject of gay jokes. His friends often tease him about being gay, even when he's clearly dating women. His voice, his mannerisms, his style, these are all played up for laughs. And the joke is often, he seems gay, but he's not. But here's where it gets deeper. Fans say that Chandler's deep insecurity about his masculinity, his fear of commitment, and his awkwardness around women may come from a deeper internal struggle. He grew up with a father who was gay and a drag performer, and that clearly affected how Chandler sees himself and relationships in general. Some viewers even suggest that Chandler is in denial. He builds a straight life, even marries Monica, but never fully explores who he really is. The theory doesn't try to out Chandler in a negative way. Instead, it presents him as a character who might be subconsciously hiding from a truth he's not ready to face. Whether you believe it or not, it's a fascinating way to rewatch the show, looking at Chandler not just as the funny guy, but as someone who might be going through a quiet identity crisis.
Field officers have reported disappointing yields. Boston is down, Atlanta is down, Houston is down. I could go on and on, but instead of boring you, I'll go straight to my 42-point plan.
Walter?
Another fan theory that flips the way you see Friends is the idea that Ross Geller is actually a manipulative, toxic person, with some seriously dark traits. At first glance, Ross seems like the nice guy of the group. He's smart, awkward, and always talking about dinosaurs. But when you take a closer look, especially at how he treats Rachel and some of his friends, the picture gets way more complicated. Let's talk about Rachel. Ross's relationship with her is full of jealousy, insecurity, and manipulation. Remember when Rachel got a job at Bloomingdale's and started working with Mark? Ross became super paranoid, constantly called her at work, showed up uninvited, and basically tried to sabotage her career, just because he was jealous. He even made a list comparing Rachel and Julie like it was some kind of science project. Who does that to someone they love? Some fans argue that Ross constantly tries to control the people around him, especially the women in his life. Whether it's his ex-wife Carol, his sister Monica, or Rachel, Ross always wants things to go his way. When they don't, he acts out, sometimes passive-aggressively, sometimes just aggressively. Even his nice guy moments are questionable, like when he buys gifts to win Rachel back or plays the victim to get sympathy. It's not romance, it's manipulation. And let's not forget the "we were on a break" situation. He uses that excuse over and over to avoid taking real responsibility for hurting Rachel. So, while the show paints Ross as lovable and unlucky, this theory suggests he might actually be the most toxic character of them all.
What?
The card! I think we're there.
Okay. But I still think we should have this conversation.
Really? I mean,
Hi, Rachel. I'm Dr. Schiff.
Yes, you are.
So, how's it going?
Oh, it's really, really good. But enough about me. Come on. Where are you from? What do you do?
I'm a doctor.
Right. Right.
Now, here's a fan theory that flips everything you thought you knew about Joey Tribbiani. What if Joey isn't dumb at all, but is actually a genius pretending to be dumb? Yeah, sounds crazy at first, but let's break it down. Joey is known as the dumb but lovable friend. He's sweet, charming, and not exactly the sharpest tool in the shed. At least that's what everyone thinks. But some fans argue that Joey might be a lot smarter than he lets on. Think about it. Joey lives rent-free for years, mooches off his friends without them hating him, and somehow always gets free food. He even manages to land acting gigs, sometimes without really trying. He plays dumb so well it almost seems strategic. There are also moments in the show where Joey suddenly says something surprisingly wise or insightful, like when he gives advice that actually makes sense, or when he reads between the lines emotionally while the others are clueless. And let's not forget, Joey is an actor. What if this whole "I'm a dumb guy" thing is just another role he's playing to get by in life? According to this theory, Joey figured out early on that if people think you're harmless and clueless, they'll let their guard down around you. He uses that to his advantage, getting by with charm, humor, and a secret genius-level understanding of people. So maybe Joey isn't the fool. Maybe he's just playing all of them.
hey, Phoebes.
Oh, hi.
Hey, so you enjoying the bike?
So much.
Phoebes, you do know how to ride a bike, don't you?
Now here's one of the darkest and most mind-bending theories about Friends. What if the entire show is actually a psychological experiment or a simulation? According to this theory, the 6 main characters aren't just a group of friends hanging out in New York. They're actually subjects in a long-term psychological study, being secretly observed and manipulated. Every event, every relationship, every twist in their lives is carefully designed by some unknown researchers to study human behavior, relationships, stress, love, and friendship. Sounds like something out of Black Mirror, right? Fans who believe this theory point to how strange and artificial some things in the show feel, like how they all seem to live lives that don't make sense financially, or how they rarely interact with people outside their group. Everything always revolves around the same people, the same places, like a controlled environment. There's also how extreme their personalities are. Joey is way too dumb. Monica is obsessively neat. Ross is overly emotional. Chandler uses humor as a shield. Phoebe is otherworldly weird. And Rachel's entire arc is like a social experiment in independence. It's like someone created 6 exaggerated types and just watched what would happen if they were forced to coexist. The theory even suggests that Central Perk is the central hub of the experiment, a sort of observation chamber where they can be monitored without noticing. So in the end, this theory paints the entire series not as a lighthearted sitcom, but as a dark simulation meant to test human connection, personal growth, and psychological limits. Creepy, huh?
Kidding. Out of towners, huh? What did you tell them?
I told them your candy was absolutely indescribable.
Well, some people have been saying it's, little drops of heaven, but whatever.
Please.
So, were Friends just a bunch of close pals living in New York, or was there something much deeper going on the whole time? Whether it's Phoebe's fantasy, Ross being toxic, or Joey secretly being a genius, these theories definitely make you look at the show in a whole new way. Which theory blew your mind the most, or do you have your own? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this dive into the weird side of Friends, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you won't miss more wild TV theories coming your way. Thanks for watching, and remember, I'll be there for you. With more crazy theories.
All right. Feel good? Well. All right, try pedaling. Okay. That's it. You're doing great. You're doing great. Yes. Take control. Yes?
Whee!